The Azam Pot 250. He had a wonderful sense of loyalty. Field Marshal Lloyd Wavell, the Viceroy of India then, had a wonderful sense of loyalty, which on more than one occasion made him take upon his shoulders other people's blame and blunt, soldierly manner, but his soldier's single-track mind understood little and cared less for legal and constitutional proprieties. They appeared to confuse and sometimes even to irritate him. The British officials in India made the fullest use of his goodness as well as his limitations to further own plans. The result was a tragedy. On 6 May 1944, Gandhi was released from jail, and he had been ailing, and the British wanted to have no responsibility for any possible implications. Gandhi, though had hardly had any direct contact with what was going on in the country for the period of his detention, yet after his release on 17 July 1944, wrote to Jinnah and offered to meet him, adding that he was not of Muslims, but rather a friend to Jinnah, indeed of all mankind. He asked Jinnah not to disappoint him. Gandhi to Jinnah in Gujarat, reminding him that both their families belonged to Gujarat, and he was trying to find a basis for fraternity. Their Jinnah, the constitutionalist, sent his reply in English, explaining that this was the language in which the possibility of his erring in the expression of his views was the least. Jinnah informed Gandhi that he was going to Kashmir, but that he would be greatly honored if Gandhi could visit his home when he, Jinnah, had returned. Gandhi at his own ashram would seldom be permitted to talk to his visitors without being disturbed by his followers, and this was the principal reason why Jinnah had said openly to Gandhi that he never went to meet him at his residence. Gandhi Jinnah Talks Part 1. Since the arrest of the Congress leaders in August 1942, C. Rajgopal Achari was not arrested because of his known opposition to Quit India movement. Rajaji had been striving to bring about a rapprochement between the Congress and the Muslim League. He was convinced that the League would join hands with Congress only when assured of their right of self-determination from Muslim majority areas. But the British would not transfer power, come what may, during the pendency of the war. Rajaji's opportunity to put before Gandhi his formula came with Mahatma's temporary release. The main feature of these proposals, later known eponymously as the Rajaji formula, were: number one, the Muslim League should endorse India's demand for independence and cooperate with Congress in the formation of provisional interim government for the transitional period. Number two, the Congress would agree after the termination of war to the appointment of the Commission for demarcating contiguous districts in the northwest and northeast of India, wherein Muslims were in absolute majority. Number three, in the areas thus demarcated, a plebiscite of all the inhabitants held on the basis of adult franchise or some equivalent device would decide the issue of separation from India. If the majority decided in favor of forming a sovereign state separate from India, such divisions would be given effect too. Number four, in the event of separation, mutual agreement would be entered into safeguarding defense, commerce, communication, and other essential matters. And finally, number five, these terms would be binding only in case of transfer by Britain of full power and responsibility for the governance of India. Gandhi needed hardly a moment's consideration to give his assent. Armed with Rajaji, then met Jinnah, who expressed his inability to approve the formula as it did not meet League's demand for Pakistan.